All right, guys. Welcome back to another live show. Hopefully, everyone could hear me and it's doing is having a good weekend and stuff. So I'm just getting last little bits up and running. Sorry for being so late, but had some stuff to do, and of course, other stuff wasn't working right. I kind of spent time on that, so unfortunately, we won't have the audio from our last outing. A bunch of wood knocks actually responding to us, but um, it's okay because we have other stuff to show once I upload it real quick. Bunch of photographs and stuff found on the internet, basically floating around, and we're gonna take a look at them, see what you guys think. Try to spot the more fake ones, and talk a little bit about what's been going on with the AI and pictures and where that's going. Okay. So glad to see everyone is in chat. Got a number of people I see. So getting to the last little bit of videos downloaded. Still trying to. I don't know. It's been a weird kind of a day working with YouTube. It signed me right out of stuff at the very last minute just now, and it's been weird. So how's everyone doing this late Saturday night? Got the usual Sandra Piper in in the chat. First one, second one, and the Naoya Biz. Got Central Florida Bigfoot dropping in later. You got Robert, Hiawalks, Texas Jack. How's it going? Pyromedic, World Bigfoot Radio. What's up, Duke? And of course, Christy, Sci-Fi, Harry Hoodmans and Hoodwinks. How's it going? Nikki. Name just dropped my mind for a second. Been doing some good shows lately, Nikki. As always, I don't know if you can hear my my girlfriend snoring and stuff. She's just snoring away, tired. But hopefully it's not picking up on the mic or anything. I don't have a big, massive audio mic right here that picks up everything in the house, because if I did, you would hear the chaos that is toddlers and little kids, which is so fun and glorious. And which one? This one. So we're just going to jump into things here in a little bit, just another minute or two. Gotta make room, I guess. Yeah, so the audio of our last outing and stuff when me and my girlfriend were out. A bunch of wood knocks, of course. I have the pictures to show of the piece of wood that we found that was laid over on its back, was what we're going to say. The unfrosted side, and then we got pictures of the frosted side. But realizing, looking back, of course, at the mistakes and things that I could have done better, when we actually walked up onto this piece of wood on the ground, we should have took pictures of it on the ground before touching it, and then showing that it was like that when we found it, of course. So, but of course, in the moment when things are going on, you don't do everything perfectly. But it's very interesting. So we got some pictures of that. We got um, audio, confirmed audio that I got, wood knocks. Doesn't really pick up the crashing and stuff I was hoping that we were hearing in real time across the river, but you do hear um, the main thuds of the whole crashing as it was moving away and different responses and stuff. We call out to it. I do some Native American, and then I say big honesty because that's what Sabe means. Sabe means honesty in Algonquin, which is a language of Native American comprised of several different branches of languages and of tribes that speak those languages, but generally it's all Algonquin language groups, and cultures are very similar and stuff. Um, After that and stuff, uh, big old crack, and several times a big old crack of response. And the last time it was pretty bad, and I told my girlfriend and stuff. I was like, let's keep walking. And I believe we got a response after that, or but it was pretty bad. It was like really close. We had the night vision camera out, which we shot video all night long and stuff. I haven't gone over the audio or really video on that. I haven't had time to sit down and really look at the 3 hours worth of video to see if we got eye shine stuff. But I know when I was videotaping in the moments, when we were getting the audio, they were across the. Oops, wasn't meant to show that, but you guys can watch that. And this is talking about stick structures and stuff, things that I found, which I would have to actually talk about. But basically, these ones on top looks like it got laid into, placed in there, and it could be a hunter's blind and stuff, could be not. But nothing was ever done about it. That right there was in the ground or in a swampy area, developed a root bulb and rotted away, pulled out of the ground, placed up there, which is what really caught my eye. Going back there and stuff, I never did see if it was used by hunters or not. It didn't seem like that. So as I'm deleting and making room in the files of videos that we have. We might have Brent Dill on. He's busy with the kids. Supposedly, that's what he said. So he might jump on. He might not. I'll probably have I will have the link in chat here in a little bit once we get going, and then anyone can jump on. Really start talking about anything as long as you keep it respectable. No, really try not to swear. And then if if it's going to where I really don't like how things are going and stuff, potentially of how a person is acting, whether they're under the influence or just spouting delusional crazy stuff, they might get booted. Frankly, because I just don't want to tolerate that stuff. To be blunt. Not that it's been an issue here or anything, but it's something that will get you booted out of the show if that's how you are. I really hope you guys can't hear her because it's pretty loud. Sometimes, every once in a while, of course, she says I'm snoring and I'm loud and stuff, but I don't snore, man. So yeah, we got some pictures and stuff. Some no red circles on these ones, but some faces and some pictures of supposed Bigfoot in the background, and some interesting ones, I would say. And once we get this loaded, we'll sort these videos out. Then we'll throw that link into the chat because I don't have my audio. It's not working right now, so which is okay. It happens. Another minute or two, guys, and then we'll have it all set up. Okay, so we got that one. I'm not looking at chat or anything yet. I'm just trying to get these loaded. And there we go. I am glad everyone's having a good night and stuff. Um, yeah, a little bit. We're we got we got a few things that we're gonna test. We're get orbs and stuff, but actually gonna do some testing. I'm basically gonna grab some dust and I'm gonna like throw it in the air at nighttime and see how the particles of dust fly. And also, we're gonna look at and see how often basically we get these orbs or dust particles flying. Which tonight we're actually is a night that we're having a lot of them and stuff compared to other nights. And then we're gonna see if it's um, whether or not we like vacuumed and stuff today. If it's because of that, and skip a day, it might be because of that. In terms of real stuff, nothing. But we're doing some testing because we got one good, interesting orb video, and then there's 2 days of no dust or no orbs or anything, and then like tonight and stuff, we're noticing there's a lot of dust that we're getting. So, which is why we don't put out anything because we got an orb and stuff without testing or trying to verify at least a little bit because it's too easy to say it's paranormal stuff or dust or orbs, and it's just regular dust. And what we're actually trying to capture is full blown audio that shows that there's no one in the room or someone sleeping or whatever is going on. Is it matching up with the audio that we get? Um, Things like that. We want really good stuff, not little stuff that can be dismissed, especially when it comes to ghosts and paranormal stuff. Yeah, we had Kreider up here in Michigan, up in the UP, and we did have a number of experiences with all the people we brought up. But yeah, we actually did track. We found a few prints. We actually did track some individuals around our camp, and thought we found some markings and stuff. They did. We actually did have multiple audios that we had recorded, yells and screams, stuff we played before. People have heard stuff during the day in the swamp. Of course, me and Jason and Kenzie had our infamous Bigfoot encounter. So yeah, he was a good, no nonsense guy who actually was out there, like legitly compared to everyone else who was brought. Who we had Adam Davis there. We had the She Squatchers and stuff. We had Gwendolyn, and then of course my crew, and I'm trying to remember if there's someone else. But anyways, Robert Kreider was in the middle. Well, he camped out in the woods with us, the hardcore people. You know, we camped out in the woods the entire week, not at the cabin. You know, which is fine and stuff, of course. But he was just in his like one man. You just basically lay in your tent bib. But we were out there all week in the woods. Uh, you know, the gear he brought was a 50-pound, 75-pound suitcase. A couple of them worth of equipment and food and rations and everything, man. Everything to survive, and it was really good because I've experienced a lot of fake people out in the woods, but that was the one time I thought, wow, that was this is one of the people that is the real deal. That I actually, in terms of going out in the field and boots on the ground, has equipment, knows what the fuck he's doing, will actually get off his ass and go. No matter how many bugs are eating you up, you know, how many spiders. There's a lot of spiders. You would be surprised crawling on you, no matter what stuff. So that's what we were looking for, and I'm glad that we brought him and had the success we did along with him. Just, scrolling through the chat and yep. Getting all the comments and stuff. Yeah, she squatches. I have a bunch of videos from the UP. Just I've only put out the evidence and stuff because that's what mostly matters. And unfortunately, there was a bunch of on my end of our group backstabbing snakes who were in the process of trying to steal stuff, manipulate people, get you know, whatever they can out of us, and we didn't let it happen, of course. And of course, all of them who left and did their own thing, of course, lied and backstabbed each other and stole each other's equipment. So now there's a big fiasco there, which I'm so glad I'm out of and stay out of. But yeah, so I don't really I don't put videos to try to promote those kind of people or anything like that because and again, this channel and what I do is not about making documentaries or content. We do this live show, but really, um, it's about going out in the woods, trying to get evidence, and that's the mostly important thing. So, you might see some videos coming, but you might not because I'm bitter about it, and they pissed me off, and so fuck them. Excuse my French, but nah, man, they've had a few chances, so it's all good. And with that, we are going to look at some. We're going to look at the evidence real quick to make this. I'm on my phone, so I got All right, so we're gonna look at the evidence that we found 2 weekends ago of the piece of wood that we found on the trail in front of us. And if you notice right here, if you notice all the white on it, that is frost. So when we found this piece of wood, it was actually flipped on the other side, and it was not frosted over, and it was laying on the trail in front of us as we were walking. We walked up onto it. I noticed it. I was like, "Hey, what's this?" And pretty much like it was out of the ordinary because it was out of place because when stuff lays on the ground, the frost freezes the top of things. So when you lift it up and you flip it over, the bottom of things will not be frosted and stuff. And so, or it doesn't freeze and frost on the bottom of something without freezing and frosting on the top of it first, at the very least. And the reason is that is very simple because when a piece of wood or something is laying flat on the ground, there's friction contact points. There's air trapped underneath there, which actually makes a slightly warmer spot of that chunk of wood and in that space and underneath that to freeze over than the exposed outer side. So the exposed weather side gets frozen first, and the underside, which can get frozen if it's cold enough, but has this air pocket. And of course, it's against the ground, which is a friction point, which is harder for it to freeze underneath and stuff. So basically, it's frozen over top. We found it flipped over in front of us, and when we found this, we're examining it. We started taking this video. She was trying to with her phone. Her phone was glitching all night. Her iPhone, it's an iPhone 13 or something like that. When we started examining this, the the audio only picked up the loudest cracks, but there was something going off, and we started walking towards it, of course, but it was way off, about 100 yards or so, 150 yards, crashing, crashing, and crashing, and we got audio and stuff. You hear it doesn't pick it up good enough for me to amplify it for you guys, that first one, but my girlfriend's like, I'm talking and stuff because I'm ignoring it because I'm hearing it, and she's like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I keep talking because it's a loud crack. Unfortunately, it's not loud enough for the audio to pick up. But after that, we actually go to the area and we call out and stuff, and we get uh, 2 or 3 more responses after that. Loud cracks right next to us that doesn't need amplification. The one definitely doesn't need amplification at all. And uh, so at that point, I told her, let's keep moving and stuff because if those sounds and those responses keep following us around the area, it just proves it to be more proof positive of evidence of something. A deer's not gonna bust on trees and it's not gonna follow you. If you have activity, then try to move 100 yards or 50, 100 yards, 200 yards away, significantly farther away, because if it follows you, it's not a regular animal. It's not nature. It's not going to be the same tree swaying in the wind or whatever, skeptics want to make up. That's not going to follow you through the woods, right? Um, uh, a possum's not going to chase you down and keep making all these noises, right? So there's things like that that can help kind of provide confirmation of, okay, so maybe this is more than my mind playing tricks on me and stuff like that, right? Having another witness out there, another person to be out there with you to experience stuff, a different set of eyes and ears and a brain to determine what's going on helps, because you're not both hallucinating things. So it was very, very interesting. I was hoping to play the audio for you guys. Unfortunately, it's not. Um, I I'm going. I guess I could make do it on a separate video.
have it up like tonight, tomorrow, but I was trying to do it live. So anyways, when we so this is my, my opinion, my confirmation biased. My opinion is that this possibly was placed in front of us on the trail for us to find. When we found it, they acknowledged that it was left, that it, it's out of place, basically, right? It's put there, it's out of place, possibly for us to notice. When we did notice it and we started handling it, stuff started crashing and going off. When we walk up towards the spot, there's a creek that separates us in the chunk of woods and the sounds that is crashing. And we pick up, as we parallel it, we pick up crashing that actually happens in two different spots. You can't really tell that in the audio because, well, it's audio, it's not visual, but when we're actually there, it happens on more of the left side. We walk a little bit, and then it happens. It would be on our right side as we're facing the creek and stuff. So very, very interesting stuff. Can I prove any of it? Is this proof of Bigfoot? Do I have proof positive that Bigfoot set this out there in front of us and then, is spying on us as we possibly would discover this thing? No, of course not. But this is just one more little piece of breadcrumb, a little piece of the puzzle that I've experienced a few times where there's something out of place on the trail in a place that you've gone over and over and over again. This place I've been to for a number of years, and putting something in front of you on the trail that's out of place for you to discover, I believe, in my personal opinion on this, is maybe that's what they do, or that's a skill that they know, and just trying to gauge possibly how aware and how perceptive you are, because are you going to perceive something out of place on the trail, or are you just going to walk by it and that's not important to you? And so they're maybe gauging, what your awareness is and what's important to you. If a piece of wood, chunk of wood that's flipped over out of place is not important to you, most people would try to just walk past it. Um, a laid out stick across the trail that is pulled out of the ground and stuff that still has its root ball. Some people might walk over it, not really notice it. Us Bigfooters, we're looking for this kind of stuff, so we're more aware. Sasquatch is probably, if that's what they're doing, maybe possibly my theory behind it could be they're hyper aware of the environment and anything that's out of place or put into the woods, like trail cameras, is out of place in their environment, easy to spot. Or how if they manipulate things on whatever level, small level, they need to be able to spot it, right? Spot something out of place. But they're going to be aware and perceptive of things on a total different level than we are. And what they're looking for and aware of is not something most modern humans would even think of. So I think that's a little piece of the puzzle that maybe goes along with that theory. We're going to try to keep getting more evidence that kind of proves that. My suggestion, if you have an area that just has activity, just keep going to that area. And try to learn all of the area so you can go there at nighttime. You can feel comfortable going on the trail safely, going off the trail. But really trying to just, if you can go there every single day, it would be the best because you can learn and see what is on the trail and what shows up on the trail possibly, and figure out if it naturally came there, naturally fell there. Really kind of think, how did something get into place? And we couldn't find any branches or anything. It actually looked like it was a piece of dead wood that came from somewhere else and it put there, and there was some chunks of it and stuff that was there with it. So We're gonna get onto these other videos. Take a look at the chat. All right, yeah. All right, so here's some pictures and stuff that we're gonna look at that are floating around the internet. Um, let's get your opinions on them and see if they are any good or not. So here's the first one and stuff that's just floating around. Of course, there's no backstory behind it. Maybe this is a famous one that someone else knows about, of course, but this is getting floated around with really without much backstory, or someone else is going to claim it if this is previously known to people. But obviously, if you didn't know what you were looking for, it's basically right in the middle. The dark shape figure in the middle is what supposedly they're pointing at as a Sasquatch, and well, that's not the right one. So right there in the middle, slightly to the right or left, I mean, it looks like the shoulders and the head of a bipedal person with possibly arms and stuff. Of course, you see the line of the arm that goes all the way to the armpit and stuff. The outline of the silhouette, and that's what people are saying is the arm/armpit area, body line. You can see the silhouette of the body line right there, goes up to the shoulders, and of course the head that people are claiming is Bigfoot. So let's get your opinions on that. Maybe someone knows. So yeah, and my humble opinion about it is, as we will look back to it, I pretty much think it's, well, obviously it's not good enough to prove anything. It's without the context and the story and stuff of just an actual picture, of course, floating on the internet. It has basically no substance or value because of that, because there's no information to it other than the picture. Like most of the pictures on here in that sort of way. But that could be anything, honestly, and you have to kind of give it to what it is. Now, if there's a story, if there's an experienced researcher behind it, someone who has some integrity and says, this is what happened, and there's some kind of story behind it, that's more leans it more towards maybe believable. Of course, where's the video evidence, right? There's picture. Why can't there be video, right? Because okay, just think. Okay, what kind of equipment is someone taking out there that only takes pictures? There's only I mean, you can buy a actual like a digital camera, right? A cheap one, not like the Canons or any of those, even $125 Canon, right? Not that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the little square digital cameras that you can get. Those are about the only things that can only take pictures, but most of those take video too. Okay. So anything above that, you can get a $25 body cam that's like the cheapest Chinese thing or American cheap at Walmart that takes video. You can spend $120 and buy a camera that, is basically a DSLR or mirrorless camera. Although those are way more expensive, but basically that style, the body style of a Canon with the telescopic lens. Those cheapest ones you can get, $125, those take video. Your phone takes video. So why is there no videos along with pictures and stuff, right? Everyone has the capability to take a video. Why is there only one picture, right? It doesn't make sense because there's no equipment really out there that only takes pictures. Everything is capable of taking video. If you take video, I mean, no matter what settings you're at, if you're at 24 frames a second. That's 24 pictures a second. That's a lot better than one, right? 30 frames a second, 60 frames a second, 120 or plus. Then the new iPhones can do like 200 and something. That's a lot of pictures in a second. So video is just no brainer. There's no reason to take pictures when video takes 60 videos a second or 60 pictures a second. Um, I just find it very suspicious of any just a single picture. But again, it happens. Sometimes people think about, oh, I should just take a picture of this and instead of video. But we really need to just always take video. Just the pictures, just there's nothing fluid about it. You have video, it's organic, it's live. You can see how things move. If you have audio, I mean, there's the potential of evidence capture is exponentially so much greater than a single picture. It's just old, old and dead. So here's another picture that's floating around. Don't know the backstory. Don't know anything about it other than it's supposedly a Sasquatch hiding in the brush. Some people think this is legit. Some people think it's just a stump. Some people think it's a tree or some sort. And I didn't do any enhancements on this and nothing. I didn't zoom in. Of course, I didn't do my own filters and my own process that would take a little bit of while to do all these, but I could, and maybe we could better determine. But just by the original organic stuff, what do you guys think? This is picture number 2. Now, if you look at it and stuff, it looks like a face, right? And some people have said it looks like there's nostrils, like a pig, like pig nostrils, or like an ape nostrils. But you can see if when people say it looks like pig nostrils, you might be able to better see it and spot it. There's the branch of the tree and stuff there. It looks like it has like pig nostrils right here that you might be able to spot. Then there's the eyes and stuff, the head. Kind of putting that image in your head so you might be able to see what people are talking about. This is one that I want to do enhancement on because I thought it was interesting, so I wanted to share it to you guys. But at face value and stuff, it's just where's the story behind it? Why isn't there no video? What who's doing the capturing of this? So many unexplained things, of course, and I don't know the backstory because there was none at this particular group that this was posted on. Hey, what's up, Jeff? From Pine Island Research, doing a fantastic job on his shows and live broadcasts. Been trying to catch those when I can. Was a insightful show. Yeah, video is constantly auto adjusting focus. Yeah, and stuff. Depending on the camera, of course, the price range and stuff. I mean, you can, especially setting your camera, knowing how it actually operates, and learning the different settings and the best lighting and so much stuff like that. I mean, it can really help boost everything. And well, I do it myself too. Sometimes I run stuff on auto and don't feel like stopping and trying to focus everything at every single change of shadow and lighting and stuff like that. The concern isn't the main image as much as the large mass area to the right, which puts the main image in the question even lower. I'm talking about the picture, one of the pictures. Yeah, we'll put that back up for you guys. There should always be video. I mean, it's just there's no point of taking a single picture because it's not fluid, it's not organic, it's just lifeless and stuff. And yeah, it might be out of focus in the background stuff. Probably a more professional style camera, DSLR camera, basically actual photographic photography camera style instead of like a camera phone. I would guess. Although with all the new settings on the new phones, you can pretty much get the new those kind of effects too. So here's the next one, and of course it's right in the middle. If you can't find it, it's standing there with its feet spread across. As you can see, a gap in the legs, and that's what people are saying is. Look at the stance as it is wide. You can see it standing there, right, with its feet spread apart. What do you guys think this one is? Is it good enough for to be evidence? Of course, no, because there's no story, because no substance behind it. What do you guys think it is? My opinion, without doing any enhancement and stuff like that, we might do another show next week where I enhance the stuff and maybe I change my mind. Maybe I find something that convinces me or leans me towards, I kind of not thinking this is maybe it's not a stump. As of right now, I think that's either a stump or this one is zoomed in. I did crop this one to fit this screen better for you guys to see. But you can see the top of the trees a little bit better. And it possibly is a tree. And the gap in the legs is all it is a, could be a solid trunk of the tree with a plant that's growing in front of it, which is blocking out part of the trunk, which gives the illusion of a person standing there with its legs spread because the green shrub is creating the illusion by being in front of a solid object, right? Which is pretty simple, the most simplest explanation, I would say. So here is one that has some people scratching their heads, and if you can't or don't know where to look, it's right in the middle. Of course, the little face that's peeking out of the ground. So if you see in the corners and stuff, you can see who this is by. This is Mr. Colorado Man himself, which I typically don't mess with or look at his stuff. But this one was floated into the group that people are thinking is real. So I'd like to get your opinions on that. We'll look at the comments first, and then I'll give you guys my opinions because I think it's just kind of hilarious, actually. So, of course, it's very interesting, right? It looks like there's actual face there, right? It looks like there's a face, right? When you look at it, it's like, oh, it looks like a eye ridge and nose and stuff. Maybe it's Photoshop. Maybe someone photoshopped something in there, right? But let's just use our common sense brain, right? Let's just use our everyday common sense brain, right? You don't need to be like Steven and read 1,000 books to figure this out. Okay. Okay, so we can see the ground, right? So what if there's a head morphing out of the ground now, right? Like where's the body, right? Is there a hole right there, right? There's just a Bigfoot standing there, right? I mean, come on, it's a rock is what it is. The rock, maybe he photoshopped some stuff on there, maybe the rock's impressions and features makes it looks like a face in the right shadow. But to be blunt, there's no fucking Bigfoot body underneath it. It's the dirt. It's the dirt with the rock. Where's the body? Come on, guys. And people are falling for this shit. And it's kind of like, come on now. You have to be really drinking the Kool-Aid to just not look at that and think, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's just so ridiculous. But people, I don't know. People are falling for it. I think they love the story. They love that. Oh, the possibility. Their brain tricks them into pareidolia. Um, it's just really cuckoo, fucking batshit crazy. Like, hey, man, the Bigfoot is not underground. It's not morphing through the ground. It's not laying down. Like, there's no common sense, physical way, logical way that it's in that picture, fitting in that picture, man. I mean, okay, save that's a head. It's oriented like that. Like, come on now. It's ridiculous. And this is the sort of stuff that it really needs to be called out. It's laughable. Like, oh, come on. Like, what are you saying? It's morphing out of the ground, right? It's covered up in leaves and stuff, and it has a hole right there. It's just popped its head out like a gopher. Um, it's coming out of a portal, right? The black portal of death coming out right there. They phased through a rock and stuff and made an entrance way and stuff. There's no body there. There's no physical, logical way that anything go recreate it yourself. You can't do that. And for people to fall for it is just asinine, moronic, and I don't get it. I don't get it. And so on to the next one, which is actually, in my opinion, at least a little bit better, more convincing. Of course, if you're having trouble with this one, the face of right directly in the middle, smack dab in the middle, all pitch black, dark. At least this one is like in a bush where, you might say you could hide a body, right? A Bigfoot could actually physically fit behind the bush instead of morphing through the ground. That's so, but this one, is the face in the bushes. I think this one's a little bit more popular. People probably know the backstory, but with so much junk and crazy stuff going on, and people spreading different pictures and claiming them as their own, or even just saying, "Hey, I found this picture. What do you guys think?" And then not copying and pasting the story along with it. It just creates muddy water and then confusion, and then people see this and they don't know the backstory. Of course, it flows. People make up stuff, claim it. Um, but at least with this one, it's not. If someone's going to present this as evidence, at least it's a face in the bush, and it's not the worst face in the bush I've seen. I would say, right? Is it evidence? Maybe. I'd like a story behind it from an actual researcher who's maybe has integrity, maybe a people who I think have integrity, have been with and can vouch for a little bit like that. Not the cronies, not the backstabbers, not the thieves, not the con artists, things like that, but real people. Where's the video? Like, okay, for us, if we have a video and there's a Bigfoot in the bush, okay, we're gonna just keep videoing it. I might not go into the bush. I've done that. They usually run away and it's a dangerous situation. But we're gonna sit there, back up, and watch the bush. Try to, get around it. Make sure if it gets out of the fucking bush, you're gonna film it. Like I don't get it. Like if you have a picture, whip a camera out, start videotaping. But just step back and videotape. Just step back and videotape. That's all you have to do. If you pin one in the bush, you don't have to shut the camera off. You don't have to stop. You just literally videotape it. It will move. If it doesn't move, then find out if it's a Sasquatch or not. I mean, are you staring at a rock? Do you want to be delusional and think that's a rock? You know? Yeah, you might be scared and it might be dangerous to go into the bush, but at the same time, if you can't confirm that it's a rock or if it's a Bigfoot, then you need to do something to sway that opinion a little bit more so you don't look like a jackass filming the bush and a rock, right? At least if you have, evidence of audio or it does something, anything a little bit more will convince you, that's captured on video that can be convincing. I'm not saying to charge in after a bush, after potentially a Sasquatch, that's not going to be a good idea if it is real. But at the same time, you don't want to be there stuck there for 30 minutes filming a rock in the bush and, not knowing what it is and getting excited and everything else, right? So like you want to determine it. Maybe there's other factors that will piece together and stuff. I mean, it's hard. Everyone has when they're out there and experiencing stuff, uh, how you're going to react. You can plan for it, you can talk about it, you can strategize, but how you're going to react is only going to happen in that moment, and you can only practice by being in those moments a number of times to get better in your decision making and what you actually are able to do and get your ass moving. All right, so let's take a look at this other picture that's floating around. That's supposedly a real Sasquatch that's photographed on a trail cam that was taken in Missouri or something, I believe. Ewok, the last one. So, yeah, supposedly a Sasquatch caught on trail cam. As you see, a really amazing picture. That's a very clear, high def image. Of course, that's the clearest photo of Sasquatch we've ever got, right? Obviously, I mean, look at it, right? I mean, just look at it. It's obviously not CGI, or it's not CGI. It's AI, artificial intelligence image that is created. That there's multiple different services out there. There's a bunch of free ones. There's a bunch of paid ones that are even better. There's there's a bunch of new stuff that is going to pop up the next, I mean, what, next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. That is not going to be still images. It's going to be videos of way better videos than we have ever come across and stuff. We're talking, amazing stuff. Um, it's going to be really hard to. I mean, that picture, which if you guys are having trouble, is artificially intelligently created. And there's a few indicators that you will notice on all of the pictures that are AI created, whether they're human or cryptids or not. Is the fingers. They always get the fingers wrong. Usually they're all morphed together. The lips, mouth area is all morphed, and the feet and legs are always morphed or distorted in some sort of way. Or typically they'll, instead of doing two legs and stuff, they'll do what that did, and it'll have one leg behind the other. They'll have extra digits or half digits or mutated digits. Um, yeah, for older people, I see a lot of older people falling for this. A lot of, really smart and educated and, boots in the ground people sometimes. And I feel it's because they're having trouble seeing the graphics of the AI generation compared to uh, reality, I guess. Or they're seeing the picture that looks real and behind it, and then the image and stuff. It's all blending together for them that they're not able to see the graphic as a computer image and stuff. It's not real, right? They're not able to see graphic different, I guess, graphic levels or resolution or um if it was like a 16-bit picture, with pixels and stuff, a pixel picture, you would be able to tell, like, oh yeah, it's fake, or a really crappy Photoshop job, you can tell, oh yeah, let's just look at the crappy graphics on this. But like super good graphics, people are having trouble with. It's not like watching the 1980s graphics on there. When they do whatever they do, it's a lot, you know, more extreme. I mean, look at all the Marvel movies and stuff. That's all green screen, looks practically real and stuff. So now we're going to see pictures just like that in actual AI video or AI enhanced video, where probably you upload a video and then you type in, just like what you do with images, hey, I want to add a Bigfoot into the spot doing this. And the AI will create the image and probably real time put it into your video and try to blend it as perfectly as possible. And I think in 10 years, it will be almost impossible probably to tell. Obviously, it's going to be fake, and hopefully by then we'll get better evidence and stuff. But it's a very slippery slope that we're going down. So this is an early model. It's really fake, really easy to tell. Yeah, it depends on the different software that you use. There's some free ones out there that are on the cheaper side that are not that good, but I've been playing around with a lot of free ones, and there's some good high-end free ones, or even trial based. But those subscription based and the ones you actually pay for are legit, pretty good. You can get pretty good, and a trick, I think, not most people, but a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't be tricked by red circles and pictures in the trees. So as we move on, we get to a little bit better pictures, I think, and more interesting pictures, I guess. And so this is one that is interesting, I guess, that people are it's floating around that people are thinking it's a Bigfoot and stuff. I'm not sure if this is a scene from Ivan Marx's Legend of Sasquatch documentary, where he has a bunch of like black Sasquatches doing a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure if this is a scene from that or where this comes from, but people are pretty amazed because it shows the splashing of the water, outline of a person there, basically. Which again, as a photograph, gives it a little bit more substance, right? If this was a real photograph, at least has action, it has life to it, right? The subject is splashing the water, creating an actual splashing effect, and there's the silhouette of a person you can clearly see, an arm and stuff like that. That's hell of a lot better picture than the stuff we've seen so far. But I have a hunch that this is from the Legend of Sasquatch movie. One of the scenes where it's probably um, playing in the water. And there's some conspiracy about that Ivan Marx supposedly filmed some real Bigfoots in that film, and then he faked other stuff, right? Because he had real stuff going on, and was a legit dude, and then started faking and hoaxing stuff. So, um, yeah, yeah, I thought that's Ivan Marx. That's what I'm thinking, based on the quality. And I remember some of the scenes and stuff. They're on the water's edge, and is playing with the water and stuff. Um, it's been a while since I've seen it, but it looks to be like that. I believe that's probably what it's from. But of course, would trick a lot of new people, and if they've never seen that movie or no reference of it and stuff, or just even just a random still image from, it's like what, almost a 2 hour movie or hour and a half movie. I mean, you're gonna find the split-second image. It can be kind of difficult, especially if you are not familiar with the movie, or even if you are familiar with the movie, you might not remember every single detail, especially that one particular half-second shot. So here we have another more interesting photograph, I think. And the subject is right in the middle. This one is a lot more detailed compared to everything else we've seen. This one is, as you can see, I would say you can clearly see, head, shoulders, arm, legs, possibly more details, actual maybe face line, jawline, potential private area stuff going on there. And here I enhanced, zoomed in just a little bit and brightened it up just a hair. That was all I did right here. And so you can kind of see, yeah, it does look like it has a face. Looks like it has the brow ridge. The arm does look like it has muscle to it. Has actually details that I would say is not a stump. There's stuff that I would say it's not a stump. Maybe that's a person in the costume. Maybe that's from a movie. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with every single thing. Looking offhand, uh, if it's a movie or it's a costume, it looks like the costume from what was the movie? Little Bigfoot, is that what it's called? It's the 1990s movie with the home improvement kid who uh, gets lost. He finds Sasquatch. It's the one where the Sasquatch fights a bear, and they did the goofy scene where he's fighting the bear in real life and stuff. That movie. It looks like similar to that. I don't know if it's from that movie. If it's I don't know what the background of it is, but at least it's more interesting than the faces that we've seen or anything else. I can't remember the name of that movie. I used to love it as a kid, obviously. Um, it was so much better as a kid, though, too. Just watching it as a kid, was epic. The Battle of the Bear seemed, a lot more epic than watching it as an adult and then realizing, oh my gosh, this is the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. um, it looks like that. I can't the costume from that. But it's very interesting. I think if this is again, where's the story behind it? Where's the video behind it? If there's a video, I'd like to see it because at least it's more detailed in what we're trying to seek as evidence. So, what's you guys' opinion on that? Cripplefoot. Um, Cripplefoot was the fake one, or I thought Cripplefoot was a Sasquatch. All the tracks and stuff that they kept getting around the area and stuff. I guess that must have been with him too. But Ivan Marks did get eye shine on video, which looks like cars headlights. I see the eyes become a visible light when nothing else is seen. Yeah, he kept. I guess the story is, he was legit, had legit activity, maybe legit evidence he actually captured, but then turned hoaxer because couldn't find anything else, couldn't replicate it, couldn't frustration and stuff built up. And of course, we see that happening now. That's why it's called Ivan Mark syndrome, which is um, code word for zero integrity. Also, it doesn't help some of the places where people look, like the actual Pacific Northwest, is literally like looking for a needle in the haystack because you're looking for Bigfoot, on a big mountain in the mountain ranges, like on a mountain. Like there's so many places that you are not going to get to that they can go, and they're probably at right now. You could spend a month up there and maybe never see anything, never come across anything, never even come within range of where they're at. Now, over in the East Coast, you know, it seems to be, there's more population, less density of woods. Obviously, there's no mountain ranges to hide on. It seems to be there seems to be a let less of a haystack to search in. I would say that it's still a needle in the haystack, but at least our haystacks are cut down a little bit to size. And that's probably why we're able to at least get a little bit more action than some of the West Coast, Pacific Northwest guys, because I mean, it is pretty remote and hard to access some of those areas by foot or even by car, and then going off trail and trying to actually figure it out. I mean, you might as well just randomly just start picking spots because it's going to take a long time to investigate everything. But here in Michigan and say Ohio, and maybe not Ohio anymore, that's probably not a good spot for Bigfoot. Um, with all the environmental stuff going on, I can only imagine. I wonder, what the Sasquatches must be doing, how they must be adapting to the switch situation. I mean, I know it seems like other animals can smell chemicals and react to them without the government telling them it's okay, it's safe, and go back to school, kids. Nothing to see here. As we know, that is currently happening. Whether or not you want to believe it or not, the real evidence and videos that are of civilians on the ground begs to differ from the official narrative. So everyone with a brain can see that. And if you don't want to see it, that's because you're just being ignorant by choice. Of course, that's my opinion, so don't get angry at me. But I think hopefully maybe the Sasquatches will be out of the area. Like most animals, they'll get a sense of something is wrong. Yes, we have through Val Zavala's data collection of reports that he's gathered. He's documented over 2,000 reports in Michigan. It's growing every day, so it's well over 2,000 now. But the last there was 2,000 something. Yeah, a lot of Bigfoot, Michigan, plus early history of copper mining that connects the to Edom and the copper mines there and the Edomites. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation on exactly who was running the copper mines and what civilization and time period they were connected in. Could have been that. Could have been the Venetians. Could have been the mound builders. They say. Of course, we find that the copper that was mined here in northern Michigan is of the highest purity ever found, and only found in Michigan, only found in that spot in the entire world, has been traced and linked to Bronze Age weaponry and shields and artifacts that have been found in Greece and other places across the world. That proves not only that the copper came from Michigan and somehow traveled and got to Greece, but was manufactured into that, which most likely meant trading from civilization different cultures and stuff. So a bunch of cool stuff. So here's the link in chat for anyone to come on. Just keep it polite and decent and stuff, and try to keep the swearing to a minimum and stuff, unless it's important, needed. But we talk about whatever and stuff. It is a free for all night. Brent is busy, so he will, unless he shows up whenever, he probably won't be on. And I'm getting rid of that person because I frankly just don't want delusional stuff on here. And I have a feeling that's just that person's all about. I don't want to be mean or anything, but I'm sure it's a nice guy, but not going to tolerate stuff. So. But anyways, we'll probably run a little bit longer if no one shows up, I guess. I was kind of hoping to have, again, the audio to show you guys, so that's kind of a bumming me out a little bit, but that's okay. Technical stuff happens. I'm going to go out tomorrow night by myself. I mean, maybe. I'll be honest, the kids have been kind of shitting their pants off a little bit, so I've been cleaning up nonstop, just messes. But if they're good and they're not making messes for mama and stuff, I think that I'll be out tomorrow night by myself doing some solo action. Going to be hopefully I'm going to be in the same area as we got the audio that I want to show you guys. So hopefully we're going to try to have some stuff happen. I'm kind of debating to doing the same exact route and area or going to a different area that's close by. And try to get evidence, trying to figure out, trying to get anything that happens, I guess, and figure out what's happening and try to get more of it safely, of course. And I don't know, we'll see. So I might go to a whole new spot and stuff, because there's just a couple of different spots to choose from, and I like to try to do different spots, and because you never really know exactly where they're going to be at, and they might not even be in this whole area, so it might just be a bummer. Yeah, I always, there's things out there. If things are going to happen, it's going to happen. I just try to have faith in that, my time and place will come when it's the right time and place. If someone's going to get me, they're going to get messed up. That's for sure. But I always try to be careful. For the most part, I try not to do anything too stupid out there. And generally, when I'm by myself and stuff happens, there'll be a limit of how long I'm going to stay out there and see how long stuff happens and compared to safety. You don't want to push the envelope and go missing. You want to make sure you get out there and get the evidence safely and come back home. All right, so we got our guest right here. We got, of course, Hive Mind.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right. Bringing you some content tonight. I got some.
All right.
Right? Yes. And this is new. It's not Bigfoot though. Sorry, it's Chupacabra, but it's in Michigan, so that makes it fun, right? Let me read the report, and then there's the audio of the police. Okay. Let me start at the beginning here. Where is it? Okay. The woman, who hails from Midland County, believes that the elusive cryptid was sulking around outside her home. The bizarre incident occurred on February 1st around 9:45 p.m. when a woman dialed 911 to report that she had seen a chupacabra along with a capybara outside her apartment. The actual recording from a Midland County Central Dispatch at the time has since been posted online. She is reporting an animal out back. The dispatcher can be heard saying she believes possibly it could be a chupacabra. What's the animal? The officer asked. A chupacabra, sir. She described it. The dispatcher replies, there's been a high amount of sightings of those in the area lately, by the way, the officer notes. In this case, however, upon arriving at the woman's homes, the officers were quickly able to determine that that there was no such creature on the premises, and the woman was in an intoxicated state and have something to do with the call. So you want to here? Let me share it.
I've not heard that one yet. That was interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Here, let me bring this up for you.
All right.
There we go. It should share the audio. Are you able to share it?
Nothing popped up on my end. Let's see if it's all right. There it is.
Yeah. There we go.
Central 5147. You got the call. 5147. Like, Woodview Village Apartments. Gonna make contact with April. Wishes to report an animal back. She believes to possibly be a chupacabra. 5147. Can you go again with the animal? A chupacabra, sir. She described. I don't know. 2147.
There's been a high amount of sightings for those in that area lately, by the way.
What? I don't. That was a cop saying that to another cop, huh?
Yeah.
What reports of what chupacabras? Now, if he's saying dog man, there's reports of dog man, but there's no reports of chupacabras in Michigan.
Report chupacabras in North America, it's almost always a coyote or a raccoon, maybe a bear with mange or some kind of skin condition that's causing its fur to fall out. Almost always, whenever they capture a picture of it or actually catch one of them, that's what it turns out to be. And they keep catching them, but that's not what the original chupacabra was supposed to look like. It didn't look like just a bald carnivore.
No, it's laughable actually, because it was like a gargoyle ghoul type of lizard reptile thing with spikes and long tongue and alien looking eyes.
Big
and
red
sometimes it
eyes.
had wings, sometimes it didn't. It had claws and
kangaroo legs and
not mangy canine.
Right.
Although the ones that they have in the out west, the little funky back legs is different than I would say normal canines. But
you think there's a different species out there that does match that description to some extent?
No, it doesn't match the. It doesn't. It's not a chupacabra, but there seems to be the back legs is more rat-like. I think, slightly rat-like in feature.
So I've seen a lot of them where it's actually a raccoon, and people are like, "Oh, it's not a." You can tell it's not a coyote because look at it. It's like, yeah, because it's a raccoon. But
especially if they're city dwellers and
but there's lots of diseases that can cause an animal to lose its hair. I just thought that was something fun I'd bring in here for you. We have a laugh, but you never know what's going to come up in these. I go out in like the forums and stuff like that and pull just different content and sightings and things, and spend a lot of time doing that. But I'll see stuff like that. It's not big enough for a segment on my show, but maybe something to just to pull up for a quick chuckle.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I think the cops probably get a lot of reports of bears up in Midland that people probably mistake for dog man and stuff. And I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen a wolf get up and run on its hind legs, so I know there people are seeing stuff, but
I think we talked about that before, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Your sighting with the dog man.
I really don't like dog man. I think it should be like something else,
Like
and it's something else, anything else.
Homo caniforma.
Yeah, or maybe like a lycanthrope, or something gives it a little bit more.
Do you think it's a shapeshifter?
Not a dismissive name.
Do you think it's a shapeshifter though? Do you?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't get a good enough look when it started running on its hands, or like as a human. I didn't know if it, people say the hands transform and stuff like that. It transforms to more of a human features, but it was just a wolf that got up and ran. So to me, it was just a natural wolf on all fours that got up and ran like a human and the whole locomotion was very human-like. The arms swinging.
That's super
like a human would.
peculiar. It had to be because the way that the joints of like a canid's shoulder girdle and things like that, they're
it doesn't make sense. They don't, nothing could
to move like a human.
And it's not like a dog standing up running. Like it's
because that's why they do
like a fucking person. Like it's sprinting in the field. Like it's fast, and coming across that would be scary. I guess more scary than a Bigfoot for some reason. I guess because Bigfoots are an ape, right? And apes are friendly, and canines are a wolf is predator and are not friendly. Is that the only reason people say they're scary or think it? Because other than that, they're both like 500-pound, 300-pound animals that can kill you if they're legitimately real. So why do one's more dangerous than the other?
Right. I'm pretty scared of an ape or a canine that wants to tear into me. Matter of fact, a canine might be more merciful because it might go for the throat and kill me, whereas an ape's just gonna beat me to death, maybe bite on my extremities, but it won't kill me. You've seen what chimps do.
Chimps are vicious. At least, I mean, a gorilla it does the same thing, but it probably finishes it off faster. Like
chimps can kill gorillas too. Did you know that? They had
they have seen it. They've hunted them, right? There's a tribe, a troop of chimps hunting gorillas. Singling them out.
Yeah,
and chimps are they're more warlike and stuff. Then when you're warlike, you have to think and you have to learn to fight and strategize, and they hunt and stuff too. So
that's how they survive, though.
Better.
They have to be able to do that in order to survive. That's the world that they live in. It's Africa's savage.
Africa is crazy. The Congo, I would love to not die going there, but I would love to go there and just explore the Congo swamps and stuff.
Yeah.
Because there could be legitly anything in there, remnants of old stuff. I mean,
I'd like to find some of those old giant spiders and
giant spiders, giant snakes, dinosaurs. I mean, there could be mammals. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that could be legit. And legitimately venomous and poisonous, venomous, toxic.
So there is this spider. It's called the Hercules baboon spider. That there's only one specimen ever found, and it's the biggest spider in the old world. The new world, like the bird eaters from like South America and stuff, they're bigger than it, but it was until the new discovery of the new world. This was the biggest spider that we knew about, and there's only ever been one specimen collected on it. It's extinct now. It's kind of sad. And it was from that region, from these little isolated pockets of Africa. So there are big spiders down there. I just like to be able to catalog one of them. Would be great.
That's all you. I'm scared shitless of.
Aw. Well, they're supposed to.
Spiders that I have the perception of being venomous and stuff. I get wigged out and I have to kill or get away from them. So yeah, Arachnophobia, the movie, did it for me. Before that, I
Yeah.
was handling spiders all the time. That movie came out. Nope, I'm done.
Yeah. I handled a lot of spiders when I was a kid. Yeah.
I was the same way, but no more.
Someone's
Unless
talking about
I know it's like, okay, this is not a poisonous spider and stuff like that. I'm pretty chill, but if I think it's
Yeah.
like a brown recluse or a black widow, I'm killing it.
someone mentioned Billy apes out there in the side chat. That's another mystery creature that from the recesses of Africa that's been recently discovered. Yeah, I believe they're
Yeah.
just a culture of chimps, though, not necessarily a distinct species. Just maybe a subspecies, but I believe they're just a culture of a specific subspecies.
Yeah, they just seem to be bigger.
Mhm.
I think there's probably obviously ongoing studies to determine that because this is just a new pocket recently discovered after decades of
Mhm.
being a cryptid. But they
Yeah.
are lion killers and stuff, so that's a pretty interesting name.
Yeah, that's
for
there was the lion killers and the tree beaters. A lot of that stuff was kind of overturned over the years, but yeah, it's been an interesting roller coaster ride with understanding what the Billy apes were exactly and how they were distinct.
Yeah, and there's other. I believe they have their own Bigfoots and wild man creatures up there, but they have like little people, little. I would say guys, trolls or gnomes. I guess, and maybe a gnome would be better because they have magic and stuff. They come out during
Yeah.
storms, or they're afraid of storms, or something like that, and they go and
Oh,
play
yeah, there's
tricks on the villages and stuff like that. You know, the little people trickster stories that
Mhm.
are popping up everywhere. I always found
Yep.
it fascinating that, Africa and these remote tribes, the forgotten places have those stories, have the same stories of, spiritual possession of little people, of wild men, of sometimes, space people, I guess, or sky gods that would seem to
Yeah.
be aliens, or maybe the Anunnaki, or you go to these other cultures and it's like very
There's
similar stuff.
there's definitely an overarching of like I guess archetypes is the best way to describe them, that humans experience or claim to experience with the unnatural world, with things that we don't understand scientifically now, right? That's my bag. That's what gets me into this stuff, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, is it a common way that just humans like process stuff? Like, it just, no matter what culture and how you speak and how you're growing up, it's like it's just a natural way the brain just does things. Like, you just take it to a more spiritual level, or there's wild men out there, or there's these little people that are always tricksters. Like, there's these always
Mm-hmm.
character traits and these legends that is universal, and it's like, why is that? Is that the brain, or is that a universal thing that they all experienced of a physical being, a physical creature?
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like you gotta weigh it out, weigh the evidence, and try to be like, what is this? What is this phenomenon that's happening? Because I never doubt anybody who says that they had an experience just on its face. I never say, oh, you're lying to me, or you were. I believe that the experience that you had, that anybody had, is something they actually experienced. Now, what it was and how that phenomena relates to reality or to brain chemistry and all that, and what's the in between, and where do we draw the line, I don't know. That's where I'm trying to look. But the fact that people have repeat similar phenomena where they're seeing the same thing that other people see, especially when they don't have any contact or any knowledge of the other person's sighting on whatever it was, that's peculiar to me. That piques my interest.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Mhm.
so many mysteries out there. It's just fascinating stuff. Truly fascinating stuff. And they keep, we found people in North America keeps getting pushed back older and older and older, and it's up there. It's like 50,000 years now, or is it more than that? I think.
Well,
To check,
for
but
people in North America, It's at least we're at least up to like some close to 30,000 years at least.
I think they made it recently, just a new discovery that puts them like 50,000 years. It just added
I
a
know there was
considerably an amount that just blew the previously theorized amount out of the water.
there was like a fire pit somewhere in South America that they dated to like 30, like the charcoal to 35,000 years ago or something. That's South America, so
Right,
people
which
were
would mean
yeah.
it even older to get there,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to come in and bring that little bit of chupacabra comedy to you. I do have to bounce now, but it's been fun chatting with you, Blake. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, no problem. And good luck to you and your shows and stuff. I've been hopping on and stuff. I've seen you
Yeah,
debating and stuff. So
I
always
see
good
you in
stuff and
side
very,
chat.
very informative stuff. You do a good job over there.
Oh, thank you. You have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. And you can find her on her channel on Hive Mind, which is I would say very informative perspective, a little bit more scientific, skeptical, common sense, really looking at things, honestly. A variety of things, a lot of stuff. I think you guys would be interested in, especially when it comes to new discoveries and a bunch of stuff that she's interested in. And we'll answer some of these questions and comments. Wolves hunting in packs makes them by far the biggest apex threats to bears, mountain lions, and other single apex representations, including Bigfoot, in my opinion. Oh yeah, I mean, especially a pack of, well, I mean, 10 or more probably, but I mean, to a single Bigfoot, maybe, I would think it's pretty bad, but an experienced Bigfoot, a full grown Bigfoot, man. I mean, you're talking about. I mean, wolves are pretty badass. 225 pounds of 180 to 225 pounds of pure just meat eating machine is pretty gnarly. I honestly think a Sasquatch is one grab or one thud, one punch, one grab. It's done for any wolf or dog. You grabbing on it, it's pretty much snap the necks, twist, it's dead. But if you have a pack of 20, it's going to take some damage. But depending on how strong in the willpower, I think it'd be an interesting battle that maybe plays out all the time in the woods of North America. But we just never know, never hear about it, never see it, never film it, of course. But I know there's more reports that I've read and that Val has categorized and looked into of Bigfoot fighting with bears. And I believe John Green, it was in one of John Green books that they talk about this too. But there's evidence, and he has reports of bears' bodies being mutilated. We actually have a picture I can show of bears being found in trees, basically impaled or placed up in trees. Bodies of bears being mutilated, found on the ground. So this is a picture of a bear that's supposedly up in the tree, placed up there by who knows what. Basically, you can see in this picture how far up in the tree it actually is. There was reports of Sasquatch, of a bear running down the trail and a Sasquatch throwing big rocks at it as it was chasing the bear down the trail. I guess through the reports, Val has kind of speculated and data mined that bears and wolves would be predators to young Sasquatches. Young Sasquatches who are not big and strong or fast and stuff. That wolves, but bears, especially black bears and obviously brown bears, will go after the young Sasquatch and potentially eat them if they catch them with by themselves and things like that. And I guess wolves would do that too. And obviously, the bigger the Sasquatch is, the more it's able to defend itself. A full Kodiak or coastal grizzly bear facing a Sasquatch would be quite the battle, I think, quite the sight to see, and be placing bets on either one. I think, but an average grizzly that's more interior and stuff is a little bit smaller and probably can be handled by a full-grown Sasquatch. I would assume they're 600 to 800 pounds. Kodiak and coastal brown bears get 1,200 pounds. So, I believe in John Green's book, I believe it was his book, he was talking about there was a person who witnessed Sasquatches in a wrestling match together, and I believe it's been a lot of years since I've read it, but I believe that basically he's at least seen them wrestling around, but I want to say that he assumed that they were actually engaged in practice, like they were actually practicing wrestling techniques, if you would want to say, or it's not wrestling techniques, it's combat. It's Sasquatch combat, which was wrestling and overpowering and grapple techniques, basically, because they have hands and they grapple and can manipulate. And so that's, if you're a Sasquatch and stuff, like a person, you either fight with your hands, your feet, or you pick up a weapon and you use that, which is what people do. We use tools. Sasquatch in some of these reports of owls have clubs that are used against bears and stuff like that. So, it's very interesting in terms of what actually is going to eat a Sasquatch or a young Sasquatch. We had a guest on who talked about him. He stood in between a mountain lion and a young Sasquatch, and then he found the young Sasquatch in the woods, I believe, and then the mother came back and stuff, and they had the interaction. You can find that interview. The name is slipping my mind, but he was talking about how the mountain lion was after the young Sasquatch, how it was going to actually attack the 5-6-year-old size Sasquatch. Yeah, definitely. And that's a real big danger, and that can happen at any moment out there on the trail. I mean, as a human, even with flashlights, you're blind. You can't see anything coming. You're not going to see anything flying out of the woods. And I think most people, on average, would not even be able to react in time in the dark to dodge from getting smacked from a big rock. So it's basically, and they're decent. They can stand right up on you and throw it at you. So, like, if they want to get you, they will, and they can. We got audio. I don't know if I have the video up, of a massive, I would say, a rock this big. I mean, heck, give it a rock. It doesn't matter. A rock this big. A rock this big can kill you. It was like this big. I would say, just gets chucked up to the air and falls down. Boosh! Big old splash, and you could feel the power. And it was like, it would just crumpled anyone into dust, like a bowling ball, just crumpled you, and that is intimidating by far. And there's a lot of people who say, "Oh yeah, I'm not scared of Bigfoot," and blah blah blah. They've never been in the field face to face with one, getting stuff thrown at them, or feeling the power. Like, oh my God, you know what? This thing wants to, like, rip my head off. It literally could, grab onto your head and smush, and now you're just pancake. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a creature that's, okay, if it's 600 pounds, if you're 200 pounds, it's 3 times your weight. it can literally crush you. Okay, now you're talking about 1,000-pound animal, 1,200-pound animal. This thing, it just moves the wrong way and smacks you. You're basically knocked out dead. You know, it swings around too fast and accidentally smacks you across the face. You're done. So the amount of power to take to kill a person, it's not that bad, not that great for Sasquatch or any other animal, because humans are very weak and thin-skinned compared to all the animals of the world, basically. I mean, most people on average could almost die from a squirrel attacking them because they'll shrivel up in a ball and die. But I believe these, and this is my opinion, and we're gonna probably shut the show down here pretty soon if no one else wants to jump on. The link, I'll put the link in chat again, but the link is going to be in chat. Anyone can jump on, talk, chill, bust my ass about things, don't matter. It's a free for all, so anything's pretty much allowed. Just, keep it respectable. Obviously, common sense, like, I shouldn't have to tell you, like, if it's something so inappropriate, I come on now. I shouldn't have to tell you that stupid shit. Because that's, I expect it, for people to be a little bit more mature and not to be crazy or just blast it out of their mind and stuff like that, because that's not, in my opinion, in my experience, I don't like that. So I don't want that here. But if no one's going to show up, we'll shut the show down. I'm going to try to figure out this audio and got some stuff, a bunch of stuff to charge. Gotta get the night vision ready. GoPro, different lights, batteries, battery banks. I might put out the trail cams and stuff. I should have a while ago. We've had such great weather. But mainly trying to get experience on the audio recorder and night vision. So yeah, it's been pretty good and stuff. Will be hopefully when spring stops, I know we'll be doing long-term audio duration with all the other members of the group, and then be running at least one long-term audio out there. So that will be interesting to go through all that and show you guys anything. All right. Yeah, so I'll hopefully have the audio up pretty soon for you guys. Then next week's show, I think I know Brent wants to come on and talk about whatever, but I don't know about next week, but we'll see what happens. And that's why I never really plan stuff out too far in advance, because of life and kids and stuff, that things always might come up. I might have to move it to a Friday or Saturday, and my schedule and stuff, it's really just easy for me to just, yeah, tonight, let's just do it tonight. Kick it on, flip it on. I'd like to definitely see see a lot more. I was hoping for more winter, more snow, because I've wanted to get winter tracks and find tracks, but it's been such a shitty winter here in Michigan that it's middle of February and there's no snow, and or if there is snow, it doesn't last long enough for it to be a weekend for me to get out there. So, yeah, I guess I was really hoping a goal this winter was to find a track line, a trackway, and actually look and study them, photograph them, film them, follow them, and show you guys like legit tracks in the snow. Not, and I should have had pictures brought up, but not all these fake tracks that people keep posting of bunny rabbits or dogs and cats or every animal out there hops and jumps in the snow. They don't just blow like bulldoze through the snow. So a lot of people will post, "Oh my God, look at the Bigfoot tracks," and it's just an animal that's jumping in a straight line that goes off into the woods, and people think it's Bigfoot because it's a big hole in the snow. And just come on, guys, like either people who don't know anything about Bigfoot or I guess animals in general probably would fall for it, but as a researcher, come on now, like you should know the difference between I don't know, a bunny rabbit jumping through the snow and Bigfoot. Or you should be able to show the details and see the details of like, oh yeah, look at the animal tracks. Like, oh, look at the small animal tracks. Look at the indications of it. I love the classic. Oh, here's just one footprint I have to show for you, to you. Oh yeah, there's epic track line. It went all the way into the woods, but here's just one photograph I have for you of one track. I couldn't get any other pictures, right? That's laughable. Or I found one track in the middle of a field with nothing else around it at all, and that's all I posted. And I mean, a fucking bird could have shit in the sky and fell down and created an impact crater. And now you're saying it's a Bigfoot track. I laugh and it's just I just wonder, what makes people not want to do the work and investigate more. I know people can make mistakes and get excited, and looking back, on things, I always feel like I could have done better. I could have done more. I should have took more pictures of the evidence. I should have looked at the evidence this way in the field and took pictures or video. I should have done this to verify this. I should have done this and that. All the time. So that next time I try to get better for evidence or photographs or video, or trying to document it in a better way. And all I see out there is not from average and most people. I think it's the excitement. Oh my God, I found a track. Let me just take a picture and let's try to find more. Oh, we can't find any more. So, let's just make believe that it's Bigfoot based on nothing. No evidence, no audio, no experiences around it confirming it, just my opinion. Yeah, so I'm trying to think about what I should talk about first, but I guess I'll throw the plug in that if you guys want to help support, you can find a way to donate. Of course, there's YouTube. We have other places to donate. We have links to other stuff if you want to. We have, which I don't, care to post and link and do all that. I don't really put much effort for you guys to be able to donate to me, right? But we have clothing and merchandise stuff and links and other videos that you guys could find if you guys want or not. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be doing my stuff no matter what, even if you guys don't give me a penny, because as of right now, I really don't get any money from anyone. So I can't say that I'm bought and paid for. And or about the money and stuff. I see a lot of people just not trying to cause drama and stuff, but a lot of people are about the money or about equipment or about the potential of things that are going to make money, you know, they want to invest in someone or a group that's going to make them money, and when it doesn't or it's not going to, they flake out and they go on to the next person they can leech off of. I see that a lot. Um, so I don't make it easy. I don't try to make effort about money and blah blah blah, because who gives a shit, right? You can go out there with a, you know, at least, you know, I would say $100 camera, you know, something that's decent, $400 camera. You should spend about $400 to $500 camera on a GoPro, and that will do a good enough job. That's all you need. You go out there, start just like, trying to get evidence. You know, if something amazing is going to happen, it's going to happen. You don't need $50,000 to buy camera equipment that you don't know how to use. Or you won't go out there, or you're too afraid to scratch. You know, you're going to get a $50,000 camera. Now you're not going to take it outside to even go in the bush to use. You know, because now it's too expensive. You don't want to break it, and now you just limited. You've put a limit on yourself. Now you can't go off trail. Now you can't go into the woods. Now you can't really use that camera in the best environments like you should, like a GoPro. Like a GoPro, fuck, just go anywhere. Just take it. You know, it's cheap, right? Whatever, cheap enough. I think, and you know, you can have warranty deals and stuff like that. That you're not afraid to, you know, maybe push it through some bushes and get a little potentially scratched up, or you're not afraid to drop it. You're not afraid to get it in water, you know. I think when you people start getting all this money, they expect all this money, and they want more money, right? And if people start getting all this money, then where's the results from the money, right? If money equals results, then where's the results from the money? What we see is that money does not equal better results. Money doesn't equal results at all, actually. It might increase the chance, potentially, depending on how it's used and who it's used by, but more often than not, we see that it buys equipment and fancy stuff and new cars and houses for people, but it doesn't produce results like you would be, like it would be expected to. So be careful of people always asking for money, and what do they do? You know, what are they using it for? So, you know, we're going to be doing a conference and stuff. You know, yeah, people are going to pay money for it. I'm not going to charge. You know, I'm not going to rip people off for tickets and stuff. Trying to gouge people for money and stuff. I mean, all the money that's basically would be made is going to be put back into another event next year. You know, people always say that, you know, they want to be a career Bigfooter, and they want to make money and all this and all that, and it's just like, well, then say you're a businessman and not a researcher, because you know, what are you doing? Are you Bigfoot researching, or are you trying to make money as businessman? You know, that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with making money, getting recouping your stuff, I think, but I mean, my focus, and I think where the focus needs to be, is finding fucking Bigfoot, right? Not finding as much money I can get out of people because of Bigfoot. That's different, right? But we're gonna hopefully have a very informative, information-filled conference. It's gonna be different, I think. More just blunt, obviously. Going to be a little bit more blunt about things, about the danger potential, and yet, yeah, there's wolves that walk on their hind legs like people in Michigan that I've witnessed and other people witnessed. You know, if we have, especially maybe next couple of years and stuff, when we try to get speakers, I don't want it to be, you know, I want to be a little bit more, I guess, legit, or no known hoaxers and bullshit and drama and stuff like that conferences bring. It should be more about the information and learning and research, not about a festival, flea market stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my preference when doing this type of stuff. So, if you guys want to support us that way, you can contact me directly with Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. I'm in a lot of groups. Just joined Texas Front Porches group on Facebook. So, shout out to them. Tickets and stuff should be going on sale here soon. We'll be putting a link up here a couple weeks, I guess, another week or two, and then we'll have everything flowing for you guys. And I've always debated on doing this or not, but I think it's the right move for us and what we want to do in the future, and for it to be done the right way, not what happened last time we tried to do this with untrustworthy people and people who are more about the money. Trying to steal $5,000 worth of money is a lot of money, I guess. Is enough to break friendships and backstab people over. But I want to work with people and make sure that $5,000 is not a lot of money for people to steal and think that's a lot of money for someone to steal. So, best and worst thing about the Bigfoot community is the people itself. That's why I've been very hesitant and slow about this conference, because I don't want it to be something that's not going to be sitting well with me anymore. All right, guys, I'm going to be ending the show right now. So thanks for everyone for watching. I appreciate all the support, because that's all the support I need. It's showing up here, maybe sharing a little bit of videos, like, subscribe, and share. But if not, it's okay. We hope that maybe you learned a little something. Maybe your brain just got opened up a little bit more, so you can go and think and research and find out on your own, because I don't want to teach you stuff. I don't want to make you guys, everyone, feel like I know everything. I don't. I want to open your mind and make you guys think and go off on your own and find out the truth by yourself, and maybe just use your brain. I just want to maybe open some thoughts for you to explore further. I don't want to be a know-it-all. I just want you to be opened up and maybe think possibilities and think a different way, to have a new perspective, and maybe potentially get you out of a rut, or maybe help you with your process so you can evolve and grow, basically. And I think that's why we have people on with different opinions, or same opinions, or different backgrounds and thoughts, and that's why anyone's welcomed on here, because different opinions just means that you're able to you can learn stuff from them and grow and potentially evolve. So that's why most people are always welcome here. We don't censor free speech. We don't. We like to have discussions and tolerate a lot of stuff here, but there's only certain stuff we don't. But so feel free to come on. You don't have to show your face or anything. You guys can talk about other things than just Bigfoot and cryptids. We could just do cars and everyday things if you guys wanted to. For next time anyone wants to come on, you guys feel free to have different opinions about things. Feel free to just totally flat out disagree with me if you come on the show. It's totally fine. You can come on and give me shit for how I did a show, or how I did an interview, or whatever. Yeah, you're able to freely do that on here. I'm not going to censor you unless you're going delusional and crazy, or inappropriate stuff. that's about it. So yeah. All right, guys. So I'll see you on the other side. Take it easy, and everyone be safe out there.